God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Psalm 46:1. The Lord is very near you. In fact, He is so close that He can count the hairs on your head. Matthew 10:30. Try doing that. The problem with these wonderful verses are we have to believe in them by using our faith, or they don't do us any good. Jesus will help us with our unbelief. Mark 9:24. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. The Lord helps those that are poor and needy. Psalms 40:17. He is your deliverer and will waste no time in coming to your aid. The psalmist asked God to make haste to help me. Psalm 70, verse 1. Let me show you 3 people in the Bible who went to the Lord for help. They were very persistent until they got the answers they needed. The kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. Matthew 11:12. We know that hostile, evil people cannot possibly invade heaven. So what is this verse talking about? The only ones who could take heaven by force are Christians seeking God with an intense purpose. These 3 individuals I'm about to mention stormed Jesus, desiring answers to very great needs that no other man could give them. Let's talk about the woman with the issue of blood she had for 12 years, mentioned in Mark 5:25. She went to the doctors over the years and spent everything she had, and still she was not cured of this medical issue. She heard that Jesus was coming by and sought to see him. She was standing on the sidelines and saw this massive throng of people coming down the street. She knew that Jesus must be right in the middle of this group. She said within herself that if she could just touch the hem of his garment, she would be healed. You notice she was using her faith. She saw this large crowd of people and wondered if she could even get close to him. I am sure doubts were flooding her mind as she devised a plan to reach him. Doubts such as, there is no way I could reach him, or I might as well go home, were pressing on her mind. Did she fall into the trap of depression? No, she decided to go for it. She makes her way towards the wall of people in front of her. Her mind is made up that she is going to reach Jesus. She presses and presses in, getting closer. She would see a small opening and move in it, narrowing the distance. She can now see Jesus, but she's not there yet. Her determination is driving her. It's the energy needed to get past this solid mass of people. She is now only inches away and practically on the ground, crawling between the legs of people. The hem of his garment could be at the bottom or maybe his sleeves. Either one, it was difficult to reach. She stayed with the crowd, stretching her fingers, till finally, with one last grasp, she touched him. She feels within herself that she is healed, and Jesus tells her to go in peace. Blind Bartimaeus sits by the side of the road begging for his daily substance. Mark 10:46 through 52. He has heard that Jesus is coming. He starts asking for the Lord, but he's not very loud. He listens as the crowd is getting closer and starts yelling for Jesus. But there are some nearby who tell him to be quiet. This is decision time for Bartimaeus. Should he be quiet like they said, or should he continue even more to reach Jesus? He might have said within himself that he should be quiet, that he doesn't want to make a scene in front of everybody. He could have just resigned himself that Jesus doesn't care about him and just keep begging for the rest of his life. But no, he rises up and fights the opposition and starts screaming at the top of his lungs, Jesus, have mercy on me. Jesus hears him, stops, and asks for him, and he gets what he needs. The woman of Canaan seeks the Lord for help concerning her daughter, who is troubled by an evil spirit. Matthew 15:22 through 28. She is a Gentile, and Jesus only came to minister to the Jewish people, not the Gentile nations. She cries out to Jesus as he walks by, but he ignores her. She keeps trying to reach him until his disciples come to him and ask him to send her away. She must have followed the Lord for a while because the disciples got tired of hearing her call for Jesus. Is he testing her when he pays no attention to her request? She decides that going home discouraged and depressed is not her cup of tea, and she runs to Jesus and asks for his help. She not only gets her daughter healed, but he compliments her for the great faith she displayed. Jesus knew that the Gentiles were going to be a part of the family of God, and he was not going to deny her needs. These three have given us an example of not giving up. We have to hang in there and fight for what we need. They could have easily kept quiet, gone home, and fallen into a state of hopelessness, but they didn't. They rose up against the odds, persevered, and fought for what they needed, and were rewarded. Instead of going away sad, they rejoiced with great happiness. Do you see the mindset of these people? They did not allow negative, doubt-filled thoughts to enter into their heart. Satan wants you sad all the time, but Jesus wants you exceedingly happy. Do not listen to Satan's lies. Jesus loves you no matter what you've done and how weak you might be.